My best friend said, I don't owe you emotional availability. So I showed her what life looks like when I stop owing her loyalty, support, and friendship. We'd been friends for 6 years. 6 years of dropping everything when she needed me, canceling dates when she had crises, spending hours listening to her problems to make her feel better. I thought I was being supportive, offering to put aside my stress and distractions to focus on helping her. Instead of gratitude, I got a sharp, dismissive response. Her tone was cold, almost rehearsed. I don't owe you emotional availability, she said. Arms crossed, eyes locked on me like she was daring me to challenge her. At first, I thought I'd misheard. What does that even mean? I asked, half laughing, half nervous. She didn't flinch. It means exactly what it sounds like. I'm tired of you acting like it's some obligation. Just because we're friends doesn't mean I owe you anything. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. 6 years of sacrifices and exhausting myself emotionally. And now she was telling me my feelings didn't matter. That the foundation of our friendship, trust, support, partnership was optional. The fight didn't last much longer. She walked out, leaving me standing there with my thoughts racing. By morning, my frustration had turned into resolve. If she didn't owe me emotional availability, then maybe I didn't owe her the endless sacrifices I'd been making. I started paying attention, really paying attention to how we interacted, how she treated me, and how little she seemed to care about my effort. I remembered those late nights when she called crying and told me how grateful she was. Now how those sacrifices felt quietly erased. It wasn't just the big things, it was canceling plans because she needed me available. The weekends spent talking through her drama while I neglected my own life. The nights I gave up sleep to comfort her through breakups. For me, friendship wasn't just about having someone around. It was about feeling valued, connected, knowing my effort wasn't taken for granted. I started withdrawing. I stopped asking about her day, not out of spite, but because I realized I didn't care to hear the same rehearsed complaints. I wanted to see what would happen if I let conversations die instead of always keeping them going. At first, she didn't notice, but as days passed, I saw it sinking in. She'd throw out comments like, "You've been distant lately," or "Everything okay?" But I just shrugged them off. Then something strange happened. She started trying, texting me funny memes when I was stressed, suggesting we hang out together, but instead of jumping at these scraps of attention, I let her efforts hang in the air unacknowledged. I needed to see if it was real or just another way to smooth things over. One night, she asked directly, "Are you mad at me?" Her voice was quieter than usual. I looked at her and said the one thing I'd been holding back. "I'm just done trying harder than you." The words hit her like a slap. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I had the upper hand. Not because I'd won some argument, but because I'd finally stopped apologizing for wanting more than she was willing to give. The next morning brought text messages. "We need to talk." I ignored them. When she showed up at my place, she was pacing, ready with a rehearsed speech. "What do you want?" I asked, not inviting her inside. "You're acting like a stranger," she said. "I'm just following your lead, sweetheart. You made it pretty clear what this friendship is and what it isn't." She turned defensive. "I'm allowed to set boundaries. If you can't handle that, maybe that's your problem." "You're right," I said calmly. "You don't owe me emotional availability. But let me ask you this. Do I owe you loyalty? Do I owe you support? Do I owe you anything beyond basic politeness?" Her eyes widened. I saw fear crack through her expression. "Because if we're playing by those rules, maybe I don't owe you late night calls, crisis management, or even answering when you need me. Maybe I don't owe you prioritizing you when you've made it clear I'm not a priority." She tried to argue, saying I was twisting things. "Then show it," I shot back. "Because all I see is someone who wants friendship benefits without the effort." The hallway went silent. She leaned against the wall, burying her face in her hands. I don't know how we got here. Neither did I. But instead of comforting her like I used to, I stepped back and closed the door. I blocked her number that night. A month later, I heard she was telling people I abandoned her.